Say Godspeed be with you.
I'll never sit beside Pat Conroy on the podium again. That guy will push you off to that. Now half this crowd is going to think I was drinking. And the other half's going to know it. You know, I'm real pleased to be here tonight because I've heard so many good things about this fella. Into each life, some rain must fall. I've been with Bill at Georgetown, I was with him at Sumter, and I was with him at York. My good friend Burnett Joyner, sitting back beside my wife, Burnett was with him in York too. You notice he slipped in after dark. Now if you look real carefully, you notice Charlie Williams and Bill Dufford have got on the same color clothes. There's a reason for that. There was a story going around of a hitman coming down. So they had Charlie wear the same color as this guy. Going to confuse that fella for you. Got my speech on a sheet of paper here. I want to read it to you. To Yvette from Pete Rose and Pat Conroy. Paid $15. Tell you what, that guy will do anything, sell a book. I did have some notes somewhere. Pat Conroy was so smart. Why didn't he buy the first out? He's nothing but a glorified babysitter. Dufford carries him around with him for a little prestige. Pat babysat for my daughters in Sumter one year. That's all they talk about. You know, 10 years later, we want to get a babysitter. You got to get Pat Conroy. Didn't matter that it cost $10,000 an hour. They wanted Pat Conroy. Yeah, I've known Dufford. I'm a little bit unique, I think, to everybody here. I've known him from three aspects. I knew him as a student in Georgetown, where he and Sonny Brown convinced me that I needed to enroll in an aviation class. You know, Sonny says, you know, they're going to land the plane on the football field. Dufford convinced me they were going to have us parachute out of the airplane. The damnedest year I ever spent. We got about as close to an airplane as we are to the airfield over here at the Columbia Metropolitan Airport. I was in physics class with him as a senior. Danny, you were there. Danny counted the bricks on the side of the building. Yeah, you know, he called us. He caught a couple of them daydreaming. He said, all right, I want to report in the morning on how many bricks there are on the side of that building. So they had to count the bricks, is that right? We had a guy here named Clarence Norton. And Clarence, Danny or Reggie Hazelwood or somebody was having a problem understanding about pulleys. You remember this? Norton came up with this idea of just erase the bottom pulley off the board. So we call that Norton's laws of pulley. It also corresponded or conflicted with Newton's laws of motion, but that didn't make any difference. Actually, this is the second roast I've ever been to with Bill Dufford. First one was in York. Those folks have a roast. My God. They do it right. I mean, they roasted us. They couldn't this, I know. We sent a group over to Hickory Knob State Park. This is Bill's idea. We were going to consolidate. We built a new high school. We were going to consolidate, so the logical thing to do was be to send people from 3 schools to Hickory Knob or somewhere to come back and make some recommendations. So we sent them over there to Hickory Knob, and they came back with about 13 recommendations. While they were gone, me and Bill and Burnett got together, and Bill said, now listen, said, I don't know what that group's going to recommend, but he said, one thing we're going to do when they come back, we're going to support their recommendations 100%. So Burnett and Bill, I said, yes sir, we're going to do. We were the original plumbers after this report. You know, Nixon had plumbers in the White House. We had plumbers in the district office. Only place that we could meet, all 3 of us together, and be sure that there was nobody listening from the opposition, was in the bathroom. Anyhow, this group went off, and they came back, and they brought in a report, and they gave the report, and they wound up by saying, we think we ought to call the high school Unity High School. I didn't say anything. Burnett didn't say much. Bill said it's a damn good report. So, people there in New York, they've been Green Dragons all their life. I mean, really. There's a few of them here tonight. We're not going to ask them to stand up because the TV cameras are on. They got to go home. Anyhow, the board met, the committee presented their recommendation, 13 points, and their board rejected their report. After the meeting, Bill said, well, Burnett, Reed, we got a little problem here. Said, we need to have a meeting with the board. Said, I want a vote of confidence. So I'm going to tell you what now, he was able to do. We lost on 13 points, but you got a vote of confidence. I went home that night. I told my wife, I said, damn, that's the damnedest thing I've ever seen. We lost 13 to nothing, but we got a vote of confidence. They love us. Got one more story I do want to tell before I conclude. I see Bill Higgins sitting over here. Bill was my coach in high school, Coach Sonny Brown, myself, baseball. Bill was American Legion coach this particular time, and he gave us a big talk on sportsmanship before the ball game. Guess what happened? I was pitching. Out in left field, the lights wouldn't come on. It was real dark. Bill Higgins was playing left field. 3rd or 4th batter up, I don't know, hit a long fly ball to left field. Guy went back, Higgins going back. He really couldn't tell because it was dark whether he caught the ball or not. The batter rounded first, went on into second. Base umpire went out and looked. Higgins made a good play on the ball, tossed it back into the shortstop. Umpire says out. Guy's walking off the bat. I'm getting ready to pitch to the next batter. Hear this voice out in the outfield. Time out! Time out! I didn't catch that ball. Damnedest talk on sportsmanship I've ever heard. Dufford thought so too. Higgins ran for 3 days. I would like to conclude by saying this. The Bill Dufford has been a friend to me. He's been a friend to my family. A lot of you don't know this, but last year my wife had a real terrible illness. She was hospitalized for about 80 days. I'm happy to say that she's here tonight. Won't you stand up? stricken with cancer. She had a terrible ordeal, but thank the Lord, praise the Lord, it's in recession right now. But Bill Dufford was there with us. And I appreciate it, Bill, and I want you to know tonight.